Hello there. Come on in and join us. Find yourself a nice comfy place to sit there. There's a lot of nice comfy chairs around there. Just pick one and snuggle in. Welcome to the Library Story Hour. You've picked a wonderful story hour to attend because this week we are doing a Halloween themed story hour. Since tomorrow is Halloween, we'll be reading a magical little Halloween book. How does that sound? Alright, is everyone comfortable? Okay, so the book that we're going to be reading is called The Witching Hour, and it's by Amber Reefsteck, and that's Reefsteck, not Rifesteck, Reefsteck. A lot of people mess up that name, so that's actually how it's pronounced. And this is a little Halloween book. The back of it here, I'll read what that says. It says, "Have you ever wondered what happens after you go to bed on Halloween night? That's when the real magic begins. Halloween is the most magical night of the whole year," which I'm sure, of course, we all already knew that, but it's nice to read it as well. "It's the one night when black cats can talk, pumpkins can come alive and walk, witches fly around on their broomsticks, and ghosts dance at parties all night long. See what happens when the clock strikes 3, the witching hour." So, what do you think? Would you like to see what happens when the clock strikes 3? Okay, so again, this was also illustrated by the author, and the author is not very good at drawing, so what she did was she would take photographs and cartoon them to make them look like drawn images. So, for example, this picture, I don't know if you can see it from that far back, maybe come in a little closer. Yeah, so this picture has a skeleton crawling out of a coffin, and that one was created with a photograph because the author's family has a real coffin that they get out and set in their garden every year at Halloween, and they have a little skeleton that they put in it, just a little plastic skeleton. The skeleton is, of course, not real, but yeah, so they stick that in their garden every year. And if you're wondering what the author is doing with a real coffin, it actually used to be her parents' couch. When her parents were first married, they had a friend who had a coffin shop, and there was an old coffin that obviously was unused. It was not a coffin that had been used, but it was one that wasn't being used, so their friend gave them the coffin to use as a couch in their first house. So obviously, once you get your hands on a real coffin, it's one of the best Halloween decorations ever, so they kept it long after they got a real couch, and every year the family puts it out in the garden. So the author took a picture of the coffin in her parents' garden and then cartooned the images digitally to make them look drawn, and that's how she did all of the images in the book, by taking pictures and making photo montages and cartooning them to make them look drawn. So here on the cover we have a picture of a cute little witch, and that is actually the author's cousin, the author's little cousin. When the cousin was 2, she's actually a little bit taller than that now, but back when the picture was taken, the little witch was 2 years old and just absolutely adorable, so that's why the author put her on the cover of the book. So let's start here. Of course, just have the ordinary title page, so why don't we just skip by that and all the other info and get right to the story, alright? So, Halloween is a magic night, full of thrill, fun, and fright. Children costumed head to toe run door to door to make a show. Trick or treat, they loudly call. Into their baskets goodies fall. But once the children all go home, the magic folk begin to roam. And so here you can see all the children getting ready to go trick-or-treating. And over here we've got the little witch girl again with her little bucket collecting candy. So this is before everyone comes out to play. So, next page here. Late at night on Halloween, real magic can be seen. The clock strikes 3, the witching hour, the time when magic has its power. And though none are awake to see, magical things come to be. On Halloween night, so they say, magical things come out to play. And so then here you can see there's someone sleeping in their bed. You know, as the witch flies by the window, they're sleeping and completely unaware of what's going on outside. And then over here we have, you know, a whole flock of happy little pumpkins that look like they're about to start some mischief. You know, they're grinning and have a bunch of different things carved on them. So, ready for the evening's festivities. While people sleep within their beds, witches ride broomsticks overhead. Holding tightly to the back are cats as dark as the night is black. 3 witches stand by a bubbling pot, brewing a magic potion hot. Out amidst the shocks of corn, they'll not leave until the morn. So here you can see the witch flying on the broom, and over on the tassels of the broom is the little black cat. The witch here is actually a picture of the author. The nose is kind of a dead giveaway. And then over here we've got the 3 witches brewing their potion with the green smoke coming out of it, and looks like they're out in the middle of a cornfield, you know, with all the corn shocks around. They're brewing their mischievous potion. So and jack-o'-lanterns on tall posts light the way for the party ghosts. With pumpkin heads and flowing gowns, they float without making any sounds. Through the windows warlocks peer as animals run away in fear. A table set from the evening's feast is carefully eyed by a hungry beast. So here you can see the little ghosts with their pumpkin heads, and they're walking by the fence on their way to some party or something, who knows. But there's a few little jack-o'-lanterns sitting on the fence. And over here there's a little kitty sitting in the middle of all the leaves inside. And then there's a little witch peering through the window. You can kind of see the silhouette there. So let's see what happens next. And vegetables left out in the field, not yet found, plucked, or peeled, come alive in the full moon's light, making mischief in the night. They spy and steal, it is a fact, until someone catches them in the act. Then on viny legs through the hay, they escape a witch chasing them away. So here's all the funny little vegetables. You can see the little carrots here. They've got little faces, and the one looks like it's got a nose, and the other guy looks like he's got little legs. And over here you've got the watermelon and the pumpkin, and they've got their little leaf arms and legs, and they're kind of running away through the patch, probably being chased by that witch mentioned. Halloween magic is like no other. Animals can talk to one another. Black cats meet at the front door, leaving footprints upon the floor. Dark bats swoop through the sky, racing brooms as witches fly, while pumpkins transform into men, remembering times of now and then. So here we've got a very classic Halloween scene. You've got the witch standing by the door, and there's a couple of black cats and a bunch of pumpkins, and just a little bit of cobweb hanging in the corner there. Then over here is a bunch of bats flying with the big toothy grins of the jack-o'-lanterns ready to start some mischief. And so then witches to their gatherings ride, those in their way run and hide. Pixies, fairies, elves, and gnomes peer out from their woodland homes. Skeletons dangle from the trees, blowing to and fro with the breeze, waiting for the music to play so they can dance the night away. And so then over here we've got the little pixies and the elves and the gnomes. The one behind the tree here is the author, and then the other two here are a couple more of the author's cousins. The author comes from a big family, so she had a lot of cousins. And then of course over here is that coffin picture again with the skeleton that we already talked about. So let's see. Witches arrive by carriage and broom, while smoke rises in a plume from the house in Creepy Hollow, on the road all know to follow. The graveyard teems with rising ghosts, lovely guests and excellent hosts. By the haunted house they stand, welcoming folks just as planned. So here you've got the haunted house and the witch flying across the moon, which is always a classic Halloween scene. And over here you've got a little graveyard and a pumpkin patch combo there. So you've got the ghosts rising up from behind their gravestones, getting ready to party at that haunted house, because it's the ghost party night, of course, is Halloween. But when the sun turns to day, the magic folk they run away. They do not dance beneath the dawn. The sun rises and they are gone. Only once a year is their party seen, at the witching hour on Halloween. So they hide for another year, awaiting the magic to bring them here. Here you can see the sun is rising and all the witches and the little fairies and the gnomes, they're all scattering and running away from the rising sun, because the party's over once the sun rises. And then over here you've got the quiet little pumpkin patch just sitting there on November 1st, you know, and that's the end of their Halloween party. So, and then after that we just have about the author page. Amber lives in a magical little woodland in upstate New York. She loves Halloween and has always been enchanted by vintage Halloween postcards, which were the inspiration for this story. When she's not writing about black cats or photographing pumpkins, she's usually off chasing fairies or saving the rainforest. Get a glimpse of her crazy world at thewoodlandelf.com. So that's that. That's The Witching Hour. I hope that you all enjoyed this book. We do have a couple copies of this in the library if you'd like to check it out and take it home. Tomorrow, of course, is Halloween, so it's a fun one to kind of read after you get back from trick-or-treating, and just kind of pretend that when you go to sleep, you know, the little witches and the pumpkins and everything are going to be running around. And if you have a black cat, if you see it looking mysteriously at the door, you can probably figure it's on its way to a party. So, but yeah, this book was inspired, as the author said, by the old Halloween postcards. It's kind of what the artwork was inspired by. So there's a lot of black cats and trick-or-treating children, and you know, just fun, cute little Halloween stuff like that. So that's where this book came from, and I hope that you've all enjoyed the Library Story Hour. Be sure to come back again, because we usually do these about once a week, depending on how busy the library is. But hope you enjoyed the Halloween edition of it. And again, if you'd like to check out that book, we do have a few copies available on the shelves. And in the meantime, go through and find yourself some books and get reading. And I hope you all have a very wonderful Halloween, okay? Happy Halloween. Thank you for coming.